stick around. We're going to have another porch swing chat. I'll see you guys. Stay tuned. Welcome to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Thank you for joining me here on my porch. This is a rainy February 15th afternoon. I was up there in the backyard putting some fencing up and started pouring down rain, so I decided to come in and out of the rain. I like being outside. It's warm out. It's like a false spring. I'm just itching to plant some things and just not quite there yet, not quite ready. Some areas we can't plant until at least middle of April, maybe May, because of our climate that I live in right here, but I do what I can. So what to talk about? I've been not so busy this winter, trying to do a little bit of here and there to keep myself busy. We had a big adventure here in January, so we're settling down from that and settling into getting things planned out for the spring and summer for the homestead. I have plans of putting in the fencing and segregating my pastures, because when I do get the goats over, we're going to not let them have the whole pasture at once. I want to confine them to one portion of the pasture at a time. That way they can be a week in one pasture. I can kick them out of there, put them in the other pasture, let them go there a week, and evict them from that pasture and put them in another pasture, the third pasture. And that way the ground has a chance to relax and grow, and they don't completely decimate the whole growth cycle of our pasture. I do also plan to get with my local extension office and figure out what grasses grow better in this climate, as far as what I can plant in my pastures. We're talking pasture management here as far as a homestead goes, and mitigating the cost of buying feed for the flock. You grow feed for the flock. So the grasses I'm looking at are that which produces a maximum amount of proteins, vitamins, minerals, all the nutrients an animal needs. Now I'll be raising just 2 goats and maybe occasionally some babies, and then also we'll be raising a couple of pigs as well. And of course the geese will have a opportunity to go out and graze, as geese spend a good portion of their day grazing instead of frolicking in the pond, as opposed to the ducks spend most of their day in the pond as opposed to grazing. They will go out and they'll get some grasses, but they'll mainly dig in the leaves for bugs and frogs and other sources of proteins. And the chickens, they get out, get around, they eat the lizards. I noticed the lizard population around here has diminished just right around the homestead house here, because that's pretty much primarily where the chickens hang out. So poor things, they didn't have a chance, but the chickens got their proteins. We don't have a snake problem. I hadn't noticed a snake problem since I let the chickens free range. So at least I know my chickens are getting a free range of proteins, vitamins, and minerals, because they're able to go out and scrounge around for what they need. And also mitigates my feed bill, which is helpful. I haven't had too much of a problem with predators during the daytime with my livestock. It's mainly at night I have the problems, so I keep them all locked up. I've managed to build secure environments for them to make them safe at night. The geese will definitely let me know by their loud honking that something of concern is nearby, and they'll let me know. So I step out and we'll put a spotlight on them, and they scurry off in the darkness and don't come back for a while. Another little building project I have imagined that I want to do this spring. I have the material to do it. In fact, I have all the material to do it, and that is to build one of those solar-powered food dehydrators to put in near the garden area, so I can just slice up the vegetables, put them on a screen, slide them into the dehydrator, and let the sun do the work. I saw a really good design from a family, this fellow American Homestead. I venture over to his channel once in a while, and they have some pretty good ideas and stuff like that. When I get out to visit my brother-in-law and sister-in-law near their area, I'm going to go out and visit them because they live within a couple of miles from my brother-in-law's farm in Arkansas, so I'd love to go pay him a visit. But anyway, that's one activity that I do want to plan to build. And of course, we've got those others that I've mentioned in previous videos. So right now, eminently, I have the quack shack I've got to get finished building. It is in a, I've got the pieces and parts I need, except for 4 boards that come in contact with the ground. I need some pressure treated boards on which the structure sits on so it doesn't rot, because I want it to stand for many years. And that's just one thing, a couple things I'm waiting on to get some funds for, and that's it, and we'll start construction of the quack shack. That's why things haven't progressed. And besides, I'm also dealing with rain showers. This is spring, or still winter going into spring. Middle of February, March, here in our climate, we always have a huge snowfall in March. Probably the largest snowfall of the year. Always happens in March around us. So that doesn't surprise me. And of course, I'm doing what I can to mitigate the fire danger around the homestead. It's mainly around the outbuildings and the structures. So we did have an epic snowfall January 3rd. I mean, it was epic. I've lived up here in this little valley going on 28, 29 years, and with exception of maybe 3 or 4 years of that. But I've never seen snowfall like that before, ever. We actually got snowed in for a couple of days, and we weren't able to go anywhere. Fortunately, the power wasn't an issue. Heat wasn't an issue. We had all the comforts. We just continued as we could by what we did. And now the snow's all melted, caused a little bit of flooding while the snow was melted, and now we've got the green grasses growing, and it just gets me itching and inspired to go out and start gardening. But I gotta hold myself back because right now is not the type to start growing things. I just have to wait, patiently wait until the time is right. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on my little chat here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Please stay tuned for more videos. We've got a couple more activities going on. I'm still working on that drywall sculpture in there. I'm taking my time at it because I want it to be perfect, as it is my first adventure into doing this type of art project. I'll see you guys in more videos. Bye bye.